Hello YouTube, nice to see you again. My name is Max Color Tracks, and today I bring you a Cithria Lady of the Clouds combo deck with Spectral Matron, updated with the new Kindred that has been recently buffed to 4 cost 4/3. So we're quite excited to try this new variant out of the deck. For those who don't remember, Duckling won a seasonal championship a couple months back with this style of deck using Spectral Matron and Cithria to get your whole board buffed and given challenger. So it's a really fun combo deck. You get some really crazy plays, and with the new Kindred and at least included as well, it's very strong at the moment. So I'm excited to show y'all how this deck plays and get right into it. The first deck that we're going to face off against is going to be a Taliyah Lissandra Thralls. So this is going to be an interesting matchup because we're going to see if our Spectral Matrons can keep up with their huge Thralls that they develop around turn 5, turn 6, turn 7. So we use the combo of Oblivious Islander with the Spectral Matron to make her cheaper, and then we hope to get the Cithria as well. So that's why we're going to keep stocking Shadows in this hand to enable that combo. We're going to look for Cithria off the stocking Shadows. So pretty good hand to start with. Oblivious Islander makes this cheaper, and yeah, that's going to help us deal with those Thralls a lot more. So I think we're pretty satisfied with what we see so far. Turn 1, we're happy to try to get some cheap damage in. Slam our 2/1. Make our Matron cheaper. Boomer from NA is quite a solid player. They're a known player, so this should be pretty interesting. A good competition and test of the deck's strength. All credits, by the way, go to Unhelpful Yoda for sending me this deck on stream. If y'all want to see this live, I do stream on Twitch as well. So I think the most obvious play here is just to go in with the Islander again. I assume they're slamming Lissandra on this turn to get one of the Thralls down, but a bit of a slower start is quite welcome because we do have to wait till around turn 7 till we really get our peak of our combo going. So pretty happy to see it. And Cithria Lady of the Clouds is exactly what we're searching for. So everything is going pretty well so far. We could see a Kindred or an Elise come down, and that'd be helpful as well. And they time in a bottle their Frozen Thrall, make it cheaper. Pass out from here. Another Sharp Sight is not terrible. Those can be helpful later on down the board when we're trying to trade against the Thralls. And they do a Promising Future. So now this one is going to grant 2 Thralls when it counts down from 5 instead of just 1. The 8/8 units. So I think we'll play the Hapless Aristocrat. Gives us another unit on board. And we might go Doom Beast as well if we feel like really pushing some damage, which I think makes sense in the early game. While we have the advantage on the board, we might as well get some extra chip damage in with these open attacks. So turn 5, we see a Vengeance. That's cute. That can deal with 1 Thrall if we ever have the time to use it. And we're just going to go in right here. Yeah, seems pretty good. I'll protect Doom Beast with a Sharp Side if they want to trade Lissandra into it. Otherwise, we're chilling. We might Vengeance. I mean, there's definitely a chance Taliyah copies this Frozen Thrall and makes 2 copies of the ones that will summon the Frost Guard, which is quite scary to be honest. But here we just see the Sharp Sight, so we don't have to deal with the leveled Lissandra later on. And yeah, that's fine. Put him down to 11. I think going a little aggressive early game is going to pay off in the long run, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. Spectral Matron is one of those cards, if you don't know, it says pick an ally in hand, summon an exact copy of it. It's ephemeral, so you get to summon your Cithria, Lady of the Clouds, and double all your units and give them all challenger. So opponent decides they'll play the 3 sisters to protect their Lissandra, which honestly I'm happy to see, because it means they probably don't have much else going to advance their Thrall forward. If they think Lissandra is so important, maybe it's a sign we'll have a slower play. But there's the Clockwork Curator, so these Frozen Thralls feel like they're about to pop. Oof. And the unfortunate high roll, as we might see a bunch of Thralls come down this turn. We're actually quite scared here. Unfortunately, we're still 1 turn off from our Spectral Matron. Cithria combos, so we're at the will of the vengeance here most likely. This is quite scary, especially since we haven't seen a Kindred or Radiant Guardian. Okay, so they were supposed to get 4 thralls off of that, but because they had 3 units on board, they only got 3, which is the one silver lining of the things that have occurred so far. This turn we get to use our Matron, summon the Cithria, and it'll deal with 2 of these hopefully, assuming they don't have too much counterplay. And we might be able to clean up this Lissandra as well, hopefully. So, not the worst situation in the world. Happy to trade into like these things as well. Alternatively, I could like Sharp Sight and try to kill this one. It's probably better, yeah. Let's go for that. I think that's better. I could do something like Taliyah in here, so that way if they ever want to use their ice shards, it'll kill Taliyah as well, perhaps. That's definitely an option. Do this as well. And then I have the vengeances set up for whatever remains from the rest of these plays. This might be unnecessary, honestly. Especially considering we're going to want to copy our board again next turn with these and double them. So I think I'll just hold back the Oblivious Islander. But the Hapless is fine. I'm happy to do the Hapless and trade with this away. Especially since Taliyah could level if we see some more landmarks. So pretty good attack here. See how it goes. Yeah, okay, so they froze one of them. So one Frost Guard Thrall survives, but they did burn the landmark that it summons with that spell, so that's pretty chill. Get it? Chill. Pretty chill. I cracked myself up. Okay, so they still have 11 health. One Matron's down. The great thing about these is that they do like kind of ramp if you have more units on the board. So as we get down this one and then the next one, they're all going to get bigger together, which is nice. This is one of the scariest attacking turns though, so we might just have to Vengeance here. And we could do Vengeance and Doom Beast this turn, would probably be not too bad. I'm interested to see if the Drain... I don't think the Drain goes through the tough Nexus, unfortunately, so it will only drain 1, unless we choose to Vengeance or kill the Lissandra in some way. Let's see if they choose to develop either. Killing the Spiderling here would be pretty good for them, but that would allow me to get my Matron Cithria down, so pretty chill with that as well. Stinging Cold. They're 3 out of 5 on the Watcher, which is quite scary. Yeah, so I think we just do this, right? Yeah. Get 2 big blockers up and call it a day. Not much else to be done this turn, honestly. Next turn looks like the one where we're going to Vengeance Doom Beast unless we get some way to make one of these Cithrias cheaper. Or another Matron, essentially. Alright, so we see the Taliyah spell. The Stone Weaving, Manifest a landmark you can afford. So we are going to see another landmark come down here. Whatever it is a mystery to me, but I'm not too concerned about it. It could be anything under 8 costs, so there's a lot of things we have to consider. Taliyah goes back to the deck, not too crazy. What else is going to happen this turn? You know, if they attack, I'm really happy to trade the elusive Cithria into it. So, in the next turn, we have these challenger units. If they choose not to attack, we're gonna end up dragging what they have, which is great either way. Because Cithria's buff is permanent, which is why she's such a crazy card. So they just pass. I pass back, of course. I have nothing better to do. They're just taking another moment because they know I'm just gonna pass back. So they have another turn to decide what they want to do. Save some clock for them. So I will take a sip of water in the meantime. Be a healthy gamer. The good thing, the silver lining is I have set up my board a little bit. We made it past the really scary part of the game. But the bad thing is my next turn is pretty straightforward. I don't have as many options as I would like. But this is quite a like aggressive deck with a strategy it chooses to employ. You know, Cithria, a combo deck this large is gonna be like sometimes a little more direct in its strategy than what you may enjoy. So that's something to consider if you're thinking about building this deck. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good attack. Just deal with these and go from there. We can do a Kindred Vengeance, which is also very spicy. That can clear like 2 units. We could like Vengeance the Tavern Keeper and it would kill the Taliyah, or vice versa. Or if their Lissandra survives, we can kill that, or their Thrall. We're kind of sitting pretty here, you know. Seems like a pretty solid situation for us so far. Alternatively, we can do something like Kindred Doom Beast and chill. And then we have mana for 2 Vengeances the turn after that. But this Watcher is quite scary still, and we do not know what landmark they got off their Taliyah spell, which perplexes me because they did have so much mana to use it last turn, so I'm surprised that didn't come down, honestly. Whatever they did get. It probably tells me it's not a countdown spell. I mean, not a countdown landmark, if anything. So we see the Flash Freeze on our Spectral Matron and the Ice Shard as well. Interesting. Double Ice Shard is going to protect their Lissandra here. So interesting. It's not a great end result from that attack, unfortunately. What we do like to see is that their Tavern Keeper is getting cleared. So if we want to go into the Kindred Vengeance play, we can hit the Frostguard Thaw, and then probably the Kindred Mark will clean up the Lissandra. So we're just gonna accept this result. We could have Vengeance beforehand and took care of the Thrall, but I don't think it's that urgent. Another thing to consider is like the Avalanche landmark, whatever it's called, will clear their Taliyah as well. So let's do this, and hopefully this works out and we get to kill the Lissandra. That would make me very happy. Pardon, it clears Taliyah, not Lissandra. My bad. Same result though. Pretty happy either way with these. And then we're probably like 90% just gonna drop a Cithria Lady of the Clouds here and double our units attack and health. Eye of the Raharak, huh? Interesting play here. So this is gonna stun 2 of our units. So this is why we didn't see it come down a turn before, because they're waiting until we develop more. And for the Cithria turn, we won't be able to use 2 of our stronger units. But yeah, we're still pretty happy to just go in with Cithria. Not a big deal. We've got all sorts of shenanigans. Okay, so this is very clever. They get to stun our units now and then attack with the Lissandra and the Clockwork. But I'm really not pressed since their attack is so poor. It's not a huge deal at all. Maybe if they had another Taliyah, we'd be in more danger. But thankfully, we've already taken care of that option. And we're just going to see them continue to stall with these Ice Shards. Slowly but surely, they will chip out our Nexus. But I think we're in a pretty comfortable position to not have to worry about that, to be honest. So next turn, we slam the Matron with the Cithria. Oh, they stunned both of our units here. Okay. And they're going to get a solid 5 attack in. And we see the surrender come down. GG's to Yost with the most. Boomer for Mene. That was a good one. Rolling right into game 2 here. We're facing Navier with a standard Kennen Ahri Go Hard deck. So this one is definitely going to provide a challenge, considering this is regarded as the best deck in the format at the moment. I'm pretty sure we're happy to mulligan all of our cards here and try to find more counterplay for their early game units, stuff like Kindred, stuff like the single combat, Glimpse Beyonds, blockers, all that stuff we need. A lot of heal is really good against this deck, so things like Radiant Guardian, Doom Beast. The Vengeance is not bad on Ahri if we can get it off at some point. So yeah, Cithria is great, but we don't need her for a long time, so we'll mulligan everything here. Cool, and we see a big mulligan from them as well, so we're pretty happy about that. I think the Islander on the Matron is a pretty great start again. The deck is rolling today. We're very happy to see it. We'll get the 2 attack in. Should be easy 2 damage. They never block with the Kenny, so it's pretty great. Pretty great start. Our Oblivious Islander gets marked, but that is certainly not a big deal. And we have a Sharp Sight. That's another interaction card we wanted to get because it's really good against their elusive units and their Ahris. So here we just pass it out. We don't want to block the Kennen because that's quick attack obviously, and we don't want to commit these spells as they can just commit them right back and punish us. So we don't want to be the first one to act in that situation. I think Fading Icon was actually a really good top deck. It both rounds out our mana curve and allows us to attack with these units, so we're pretty happy to see it. It keeps us pushing a lot of aggressive damage. That's what I'm trying to say. So they block with an Avoid Conspirator, which I'm happy to see. They may pick this up as well, but yeah. Okay, they pull it back, or we're putting them down to 13, which is quite a bit of damage for turn 3. You know, 7 is not bad at all. So that's why I'm so happy to see that top deck. And then turn 4, we're probably just playing Kindred, doing things like Glimpse Beyond, Sharp Sight. Okay, cool. We'll take that trade. Again, we don't need to commit these spells. We got plenty of blockers. We're very happy with this current situation. If they do the mark, we're happy to Glimpse Beyond here and draw 2 cards instead. Not give them the satisfaction of clearing our Oblivious Islander for free. And the Nopify, sure. Better the Nopify gets used there than when I'm trying to kill their units, so definitely not the end of the world there. Next turn we can see them play their 4-cost card that summons the 1-drops, or maybe they'll start getting the Ahri going. We'll just have to wait and see. Yep, the Kinku Wayfinder, so they got their 4-drop that summons their 1-drop units. And I think I'm just happy to actually play my Hapless Aristocrat, because I can Sharp Sight and kill their Kennen here, which would be quite... Well, okay, the Kindred also denies the attack from the Kenny, so maybe I'll just go for the Kindred. This is kind of hard to say. Neither of these is terrible, but neither is fantastic. We're probably eating like 3 damage for sure this turn. We can block the Wayfinder in some way, but yeah, let's go with the Hapless. I think killing Kenny would be very nice here, so I'm down to go for it. Cool. Alternatively, I can go like this and Sharp Sight this one. And that keeps me with 2 units to block with, as opposed to doing it this way. Leaves me with just a Spiderling. I mean, just a Hapless. So we'll stay wide in this situation and go like this. Cool. Seems good. Killing us champions always good. Definitely worth using a Sharp Sight for. And yeah, no big deal. Next turn we slam Kindred and start to hopefully use these marks to clear some of their board out. That'd be very nice. Another Kinku Wayfinder. Another Kennen miss, which is very good. They're supposed to be getting these Kennens off the Wayfinders, but thankfully they have not had much luck with that. So we're going to attack with our Kindred. Push 12 damage. You don't want to attack with your Spiderlings. It just gets blocked. And then they don't have the mana to deny this, so we'll clear out our prey and hopefully take care of a Dancing Droplet. Assuming... I mean, there's a good chance they have the recall here, but it's worth forcing them to use as well, so we can draw some cards. And now we see we do have the Cithria Matron combo set up, so we're very happy to see that, along with some single combats, Doom Beasts. Got a lot of interaction here, so we're kind of sitting pretty. A Radiant Guardian is not bad either. If we want to let one of our units die in some way in the heat of combat, we will be able to slam our Radiant Guardian and get a lifesteal unit. That does get countered by things like Homecoming and stuns and just the recalls in general, but forcing them to use those is very nice. So we're happy to see Radiant. Definitely a sight for sore eyes. And here's the Dancing Droplet. You know, they're doing the Kennen Ahri things. They're setting up a lot of recalls. They're leveling their Kennen, repeatedly playing these droplets. So they're doing what they do. They do what they do. Next turn we'll play the Spectral Matron, Cithria Lady of Clouds, and be very happy about it. Taking 5 damage is certainly not the end of the world here. Cool. Pass. This also lets us Sharp Sight the Ahri, I believe, unless they have another 1-cost recall spell in hand. But definitely good pressure here, if nothing else. Interesting. Oh, there are Ahri levels. Interesting. Yeah, there are Ahri levels this turn because both the Mourned and the Ahri are attacking. So we definitely have to shoot off the single combat if we do not want to lose. So that's something to consider. And it's elusive? Why is this elusive? I'm confused. Oh no, it's not. It just looks elusive. Okay, sorry. Let me think what's the most optimal way to block here. I think I'm almost happy to let my Kindred die, oddly enough. I mean, we're gonna use this Kindred in some way. Alternatively, we can do like this. Block this, like this. And then we get to mark as well. But the thing we mark gets picked up, unfortunately. So that doesn't actually matter. We could do like this. What does that do? No, that doesn't make us happy at all. Okay, how about this? I think this makes a lot of sense here. Does it? Sure. That's fine with me. Take 9 damage. We want to block the one that's weaker, I believe. And then we'll just play down our Radiant Guardian and hopefully double it with the Spectral Matron next turn. I'm not sure if what I did with the Kindred made sense, but I'd have to think about it a lot longer. Unfortunately, I did not have the time on that turn. But the single combat is a great top deck regardless. And yeah, so you see the Ahri die here. We're very happy about that. Unfortunately, the thing we marked gets picked up, but 2 champions down, couple more to go. We'll just play down our Radiant Guardian and next turn slam our Spectral Matron with the ephemeral Cithria. So kind of an exhausting, you know, playing against Kennen Ahri is always a bit of an exhausting experience, but so far it's going pretty decently. So double all our attack and health of these units. Bet they didn't expect that. We'll see how much counterplay they have at this turn. So we definitely attack and drag these elusives out. I think we want the less important ones in front of the lifesteal unit here. And then, yeah. Perhaps we want to kill the weakest thing first. Something like this would make sure that the mark is still preserved on the Shadow Assassin. But that also lets them pick up the Shadow Assassin, which is not ideal. So I think this is just our best bet. No. Yeah, no. This makes more sense, actually. Yeah, we'll mark it. We're happy to mark it. Cool. I'm absolutely down for this. Yeah. It's a bit fancy, but... Okay, so they recall this unit. Great. That's what that was the perk of putting the less important thing in front of the Wayfinder. So we're happy to see that. And then, yeah. Mark the Shadow Assassin. Hopefully start leveling Kindred here. And next turn we have Stalking Shadows. We have Doom Beast. We'll see if they develop Kennen and Ahri on this turn. Okay, so they conspirated their Shadow Assassin. That was a lot of mana they had to use to get it back into their hand. And we see a Mourned as well. Unfortunately, that might just be enough elusive damage to finish us. That's a bit scary as well. The Kindred Spirit Journey is very nice, because that can deny a block as they attack. I'm so scared here. Oh, Jesus. If only I still had my single combat for the Radiant Guardian. Perhaps that was a misplay, using it there. Let's think. So this is pushing 6 damage. If they commit Twin Discipline, I think we have to wait here. I think we have to wait a little longer here before I Stalking Shadow or anything. Let me see what targets I could possibly get off the Stalking. Okay, the Kennen levels. I think this is where I put down... Well, These can't attack in a manner that is relevant because I just blocked them. So this is still essentially just 8 damage. And then whatever they Twin Discipline, I will just Kindred Spirits Journey and we'll be fine. And then I'll heal with Doom Beast. And then we will hopefully continue pushing with our Radiant Guardian and try to heal back a shitload of damage. So this isn't the worst situation in the world. We're kind of chilling, but we're kind of stressed out as well. I know a way. Tell me the way, Mr. Conspirator. Alright. Cool. The go hard is quite scary at this moment as well. If they want to start popping those go hards off and cycling them, it will probably lead to a lethal. So we Kindred Spirits Journey this. And they're left with that, but they're gonna use these Marks of the Storms to make sure our Radiant Guardian doesn't get this block off, obviously. It is nice that the marks are not gonna go to Kindred here. Our Kindred's gonna make it out alive, I believe. Yeah. So they're just gonna have to push back the Radiant Guardian with those two, and then we'll continue to see what happens. And then next turn, I'll probably want to play my Doom Beast. Alternatively, I could Stalking Shadows and try to dig for another Spectral Matron to get to try to get my next Cithria Lady of the Clouds down. So I'm kind of stuck between these two options. But I think the best thing to do is just wait, because I can play my Doom Beast next turn regardless. So we'll just wait and see what we top deck and then decide at that moment. So cool. We mark something, it gets picked back up. Not the end of the world. We were down to 3 health, which is pretty sketchy. But, you know, we're playing against a very strong deck, so you gotta get down and dirty sometimes and pray shit works out. Okay. They mark our Radiant Guardian again. Not a surprise there either. Yeah, we just pass here. So let's see. There's another Cithria Lady of the Clouds. I just started this turn by Stalking Shadowing. Oof. And we missed the Stalking Shadows. That's incredibly painful. What were the odds of that? We had to have tons of units. Damn, we missed the Radiant Guardian, missed the Doom Beast, missed our Fading Icons, Oblivious Islanders. That's very painful. You know what we could have done last turn is use the either way, let's focus on what we control at this moment. I think this is a adequate dragon attack. The odds are we will not kill with the Radiant Guardian, I don't think. Whatever happens here, it probably just gets picked back up in some way. So yeah, we just send this off. Maybe been more productive to drag with the Kindred. Oh, I take it back. We did get some heal there. Okay, that's great. Get a Doom Beast down. Heal some more. Next turn we'll double everything with Cithria, but we really need some way to block these elusives, since there's a very real possibility they deal 13 damage to me next turn. Very real possibilities, considering we already see 8 on their board. And the Ahri, no. Oh god. The Ahri is certainly not what we want to be dealing with in this situation. Very unfortunate we saw them get it off the Shadow Assassin, I believe. Shucks. Oh, and there's the Doom Beast we needed to heal more. No Vengeance in sight. Don't get to use our Cithria Lady of the Clouds. So, unfortunately, we will have to concede this one and call it a day. As we see, that's lethal. But, really close game. Congrats to our opponent for getting that one. They had triple mourned, which is very tricky. Unfortunately, we only draw like one sharp side there. We low rolled the Stalking Shadows. Okay. So we played a game 3, but it was against another Kennen Ahri deck, so we didn't really want to include that in the video. It was a little bit of a boring match. But for game 4, we're facing a Kindred Viego matchup. This should be a bit more interesting. Another Ionia Shadow Isles matchup. And I was informed that in game 2, I did miss lethal on one of the turns, or a potential lethal, because I forgot that Spectral Matron has Fearsome, so I could have pushed a lot more damage in that game 2. But we're not going to worry about that. Moving on to this game 3. Let's see if we can create a more entertaining and engaging game. Because, you know, sometimes Kennen Ahri does err towards the boring end of the gameplay in Legends Runeterra, as I'm sure some of y'all have experienced yourself on ladder. So I'm pretty happy to keep Vengeance. It's going to be important to kill their Kindred and Viegos. As far as the Glimpse Beyond and Stalking Shadows go, I'm not too hyped on them. And Hapless is a pretty good chump blocker for some of their early units. And we're happy to see these as they are pieces of our combo as well. But yeah, Vengeance is really great in dealing with their units, so I'm happy to keep it. Their key cards are the Kindred Viego, so I mean, If we can eliminate them with the 6-cost spell, that's pretty great. I'm happy to do it since we're trying to wait till turn 8, turn 7 to pop off our combo. It's important that we try to counter what they're doing as well. So I'm pretty happy to attack here. Don't see any good reason why not to. If they make our hapless aristocrat a spiderling, I'm chill with that. If they trade in with the hapless there, I'm chill with that. Push 3 damage. Pretty good start against Vendulum here. Another hapless aristocrat is chill. So I think we just pass. I mean, we already have the blocker on the soldier and on the spiderling. We could do like this, but the issue with this is that we get twin disciplines. So we'll hold the Elise back and just block the soldier, and then that'll allow us to attack into it comfortably with Elise if we ever want to do that as well. Just pass the rest of this turn. We're not really the aggressor here, like I was saying. We're taking this one nice and slow. This turn, I could open attack Elise, but I'm more inclined to just pass and wait for something to vengeance. Or if I burn one of my mana, it's really not the end of the world here. So yeah, they just take the pass back. Our boards are pretty much even at this point. I pushed a little more damage. They have a little more mana. Not a big deal. So I can chump block this as well with the 1-cost spiderling. Pretty happy to do it. If the kindred comes down, I can answer with my own kindred. I can answer with vengeance. So we're kind of chilling. These spiderlings are great because they do counter the kindred marks pretty nicely. It would stop my Elise from being killed, but it's really not a huge deal here. I think I'll commit just a hapless aristocrat, so I am doing something productive with my turn and starting to get a little slight edge. And then if they pass, you know, I'm pretty down to just pass, or just trying to wait till we get to the later game with these Matrons. Oblivious Islander is great at doing that as well. Tell them hello. Oh, hello there. And our Matron's now ephemeral, and we can use it to get the Cithria. Interesting. Okay. So we don't have the mana to Stalking Shadows and Vengeance here since we've dropped this. So we can probably just use our Kindred or Vengeance. These are really nice in combination together, but if we force out the deny here, it's the rest of their mana for their turn. And then they have a bit of an awkward decision to make on their open attack, so I think I'm happy to do this with the Vengeance. Yeah, so there's the deny. Not a big deal. They saved 2 mana there. Got down their Viego. Ooh, the Ravenous Butcher. Now that is a tech I have not yet seen in this deck. Very curious. They must be playing a bit more of an aggressive version, because that is very unique to Vendulum so far. So we're just going to pass into this turn. It does charge up their Viego a little more, which is pretty strong. Puts them up to 3 now. And there's the Cithria Lady of the Clouds, which is perfect. So unfortunately, we're going to take the fearsome damage here. Or we could Vengeance, like, count it down. But I think it just makes more sense for us to do Matron 2 turns in a row. Considering we're not losing to the Atrocity yet, and we would get to double these units as challengers as well, I think we'll just go for this. And call her a day. Yeah, I'm down for that. If we just pass Spectral Matron. Well, wait, I think that was almost certainly a misplay, because this is going to be ephemeral as well. So we only want to use it on the attacking turn, essentially. No, that had to be a misplay. Yeah, that had to be a misplay, didn't it? It's fine, because the cheaper Matron is still going to work nicely with, like, the Vengeance and the Stalking Shadows. Like, it's not going to be a huge hit to our mana. My concern is just why I took that 7 damage, essentially. So Elise is humming. She's getting bored of me talking, and I'm sure y'all are as well. I think we're just going to make them play another deny. Maybe it's the Syncrosity, whatever that card is called. Syncopate. Or we just kill the Viego. Would have been much nicer to do it in combat, but it is what it is here. Next turn we open with the Spectral Matron and double our things with Cithria, and we're pretty happy. Saving the 1 mana there did not matter, so it's better to just get down the 1 that's going to stick on the board. And we'll be able to challenge their units here and hopefully get a big swing in. We see the Fading Icon. So we want to take the most damage with the ephemeral one because it's going to die regardless, so it's not a big deal. And then we just swing like this. Say, come here, come here, come here. And then this one can get 12 damage in, theoretically. And that sets up for like a nice atrocity play, sets up for a lethal next turn. So we're pretty happy to see that. I learned my lesson. I will be trying to abuse the fearsome from this point forward. Yeah, pretty good attack here. So we're going to just proceed. Next turn, we've got another way to just double the health of all our units with another Matron. And then on the final turn, we can do another Cithria Lady of the Clouds. So we're kind of sitting pretty. There's the Vengeance on our ephemeral unit. So that's pretty chill with us. And we're going to clear the rest of their board here. The Viego gets close to being leveled, but it's never... It's only a 3, and they had to use a lot of mana to preserve it. So they're at 12 out of 20 right now. Not too bad, not too bad. This turn we're almost certainly just, like I said, slamming these again, and we're pretty happy to... okay, they're conceding, and that's what we expected. So yeah, much more entertaining game that time. We got our combo off. I really appreciate y'all listening. If you would like to follow me on Twitter, it's MaxGotTheTracks. If you want to see these live and actually chat with me, interact with me, play some gameplay, ask me questions, I'm live every day on twitch.tv/MaxGotTheTracks. All these are in the description, by the way. If you want to help support the video, it would mean a lot to me if you would like and consider subscribing as well. You know, I make these videos every other day with the help of my editor, Bin, so we put in a lot of work, and if you enjoy them, it would mean a lot if you would help us grow the community by supporting these videos. It means a lot. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, MaxGotTheTracks, we can talk there. The Discord, MaxGotTheServer in the description. And yeah, until I see you next time, I really appreciate you being here, and peace out.